I like
How's it
your
going?
van.
Good.
Huh?
Say again.
I like your van's towel or whatever it is.
Yeah, I had a clean up on my desk the other day and I found it in my drawer. Hopefully this recording is working all right. My internet seems to be better today for some reason. So what we're talking about. Hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in again. This week we are going to talk about the video that we actually have coming out on Sunday, which is somewhat of a film review about the Cinestill black and white XX film stock. But we shot it on 35mm, which obviously been out for ages, and the new 120 film as well. So we thought we'd talk about our results now, because we've got the scans, we've got the development back, and we've scanned them in. And then in the video, you'll actually see us walking around, taking the photos, why we took the photos. So yeah, we just want to talk a little bit about what we think of the film prior to that video coming out. Drum roll, please. So yeah, what do you think about it?
First of all, I'd just like to say
it was fun to shoot, wasn't it?
Sorry, but yeah, we got the developed rolls back from my kitchen.
You developed them, my bad. Yeah.
I was so scared, nervous, even just to do the 35mm, which I've never had go wrong before, but to do the 120, I was like, I've tried to do one roll before, famously, and I fucked it up. So I was quite nervous to do this. I ran out of developer as well. I did the 35mm and then ran out and then realized I didn't have enough to do the 120, so I had to go and buy some more.
Yeah, thank you, skiers.
But I think that worked in my favor, because I think we got better results from the 120 because I had a fresh bottle of developer. Because
okay, yes, I haven't been used or anything.
I didn't realize it's only got a shelf life of 4 months once you've opened the bottle, and I've had it for 6. And
I think the results have come out pretty good considering.
Yeah, but I think the 35
on the 35,
I had to tweak them a lot more when I was scanning them in. Whereas when I took the roll of 120 out, I was like, wow, they're pretty crisp. When we exposed the exposure for both cameras, we were setting them at the same sort of thing. So I felt like the 35mm was a bit underexposed.
I'm quite happy. I'm probably more happy with the 35mm than I am the 120. But then I keep having to remind ourselves, obviously, when you see the video coming Sunday, we took photos very quick. We only had a certain amount of time, and we shot 36 photos between us on the 35mm and 5 photos each on the 120. But normally, you tend to work a little bit slower, especially if you're walking around. You tend to kind of, look out for things you want to take photos of, where we were quite truly happy with everything, weren't we? So if we saw something, we'd take a photo. So yeah, but I was pleasantly surprised with the results that I got from the 35mm, knowing that obviously when you take the photos on 120, you can see the what you can somewhat see what you're going to take a photo of, because you can visualize it in the mirror. Yeah, I quite like the 35.
The sun wasn't out much, basically.
Yeah, we went the day after the sun went in, didn't we? Really?
And then as we left, the sun came out.
Yeah, the most amazing golden hour.
Yeah, it was.
We should have stuck around for an hour, but
but
it is what it is.
Yeah, but the light was quite flat, and so it meant we didn't have to muck around with the exposure too much. Although weirdly, there's like one of my 120 shots, the last photo I took of you, which I'll put up now, is it just massively underexposed. Really weird.
I've got a feeling, if you watch the footage back, when you're recording me take the film out of the camera, so when we're finished, there's a slight moment where I pull the slide and then quickly shut it, and I think I did that by mistake, but obviously we were in the midst of talking to each other, and I think that exposed it, or exposed part of the negative for a brief moment, but enough to mess it up.
Well, look, I've got them on my desk.
Yeah.
They say, so that's it. And believe it or not, there is something there, but that's not underexposed, is it? That's overexposed. Apologise to anybody who is just disgusted by me touching negatives with my greasy fingers, but I'm not very careful.
But no, it went well, didn't it? So
Yeah,
obviously, first of all, we went out and shot the 35mm. Oh no, did we shoot the 120 first?
So the 120 first. You did you did 5, I did 5.
Yeah.
And it's really nice film. It's like you're saying it's grainier than you thought. I think the 35mm shots are grainier looking because I've had to tweak them more. So I think we underexposed them. So so when I've scanned them in and then sorted them out in Photoshop, I've had to tweak them a bit to like bring up some of the contrast, and I think that's made it a bit grainier.
I think like I kind of expected it to be grainy on the 35, and I knew it'd be grainy on the 120, but it's still razor sharp focus, right?
Yeah. I don't think the 120 are too, compared to some films like Street Candy or I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but like I don't think it's too grainy.
No, and I think when you blow it up, you can kind of see the detail on it, which is great. But I don't know. There's a part of me that can't help but think that's the 120 result is kind of what I'd expect from a high-end 35mm camera. Like I said to you, I kind of if I had a Leica M6, that's what I'd kind of expect. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at them side by side. Obviously, you're editing the video, right? So I haven't seen them side by side to kind of compare them yet. Yeah. No, I'm happy with the majority of the results. There was one that I took that I know was very underexposed, the long exposure one of that car that I did in the car park.
Yeah, we should have like doubled that.
Yeah. But I don't know. We live and we learn, don't we? We definitely experienced to shoot it. I'd definitely shoot it again, without a doubt. It was. I really like the results. I'm glad that we did shoot it because now I feel like I've got a better understanding of what situations I could use that in, which is kind of what we all want to know, right? When we're testing out film stocks, and then you'll find one that you like, and you might use that more often.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd definitely buy it again to shoot my own kind of personal projects that I've got going on, and think about how I could incorporate that into it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like Bray has been using it, and he's on his video, he said it's his favorite black and white film stock at the moment.
Yeah, but you look at his results, you can see why they look amazing.
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to seeing more of his results using the film, because he'll use it 120, right?
Yeah.
6.7.
Well, it's cool because there's a lot of people who haven't used it before who are kind of discovering it because of this 120 release. Yeah. It's so I don't know if it's something about maybe we didn't take the right kind of shots, and maybe we should have tried to been thinking about this, but obviously with Cinestill you have, with the normal color Cinestill, you have the halation where the reds glow. So I was expecting more glow from this black and white film.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because of the type of shots we took, we weren't shooting it into, we didn't have any like particularly bright lights. And maybe again, we should have been looking for that.
Comparing it to Bray's results, if you haven't checked out Bray Hunziker's video of this, we'll link it down below. He was shooting it at a skate park, which was underneath a bridge. So I'm thinking there he's probably got lesser lights than you'd think. Obviously, you've got light coming in and from all around it. Just as a straight comparison, his results look amazing. If you know.
Yeah.
What I mean. Again, I am happy. I really like that photo I took of you. The portrait I took of you. I
really like that. It's really nice.
That's come out well. The depth of field picks up really well on there.
Yeah,
obviously
really good.
Camera, but it looks nice.
But did Bray's photos have that kind of halation?
Again, this without putting them next to each other and kind of comparing it that way. Not that one's better or worse. I guarantee I think his are better, but that's because I like him as a photographer. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it was just it was a lot different to what I thought it would be looking at the results up close. But until I kind of see the 35 next to the 120, that's how I kind of want to compare it. But as a set of images, just as a general review of the film, yeah, I'm happy with the results.
Yeah, it's like I'll put up now a couple of pictures that I've taken on Cinestill 50D just to show, like, there are a couple of pictures of cars where there's little bits of light bouncing off a certain bit of the car, and it's got that little red glow around it, and I really like that for a daytime film with that halation effect. I've only shot a couple of rolls of Cinestill 800, and I've never got brilliant results from it. But I think that's more on me than on the film.
Well, plus you have to take into consideration that the actual cameras we were using as well, right? So we took out my Mamiya RB67, which, fair play to you, you'd never used before.
Yeah.
So you use a camera that you'd never used on a film stock you'd never used. And then what camera did you have?
It's a Canon P.
The Canon P, which I had never used.
Yeah.
On the 35mm film stock, again, which I had never used. So I think, without kind of being too harsh on ourselves, to go out and shoot cameras that we'd never kind of used before, the results were all right.
So, it's a bit of there was a lot of variables in that video.
Yeah.
For some reason, we shot it on a Ricoh GR2, which I won't do.
Because why not?
Yeah, well, we wanted to try it out. It's probably something we should have done differently, but one of my reasons, stupidly, for wanting to do it on the GR2 was I got loads of spare batteries for it. So I was like, we're not going to run out of battery, so it will be pretty safe. I would have liked to shot it on my Fuji, but I haven't got any. I've only got one battery, and it does kind of eat them up a bit. So we filmed the video on something we'd not filmed on before. We were using cameras that we hadn't both used before and shooting film that we'd never shot before.
Yeah, arguably one of our favourite street cameras, digital street cameras, the Ricoh GR2, we decided to film on.
Film with it, yeah. But also we were filming in a location that we've only been to once before to take photos. So I've only been there once before to shoot, and that was on digital, and it was at night time. So there was a lot of variables in that video. But anyway, we were talking about the film. Is there any particular photos that you saw of the scans that I've sent you that you liked, you want to talk about?
On the 120, I really like the portrait, just because, me personally, I don't take a lot of portrait photos, so it was nice to see the result from that on that film stock, and I can really see that it stands out.
Yeah.
And I really like the one of, we were walking through like an underpass, and there was the light was coming in from in the distance of the underpass, and I think there was a guy walking through. Very much a street style photo, but to take that using the big camera, I was quite happy with the result. Like obviously the shadows are super dark, so that came out quite well.
Yeah, and actually on that, what you don't see obviously from the photo, but what you also, I didn't put in the video, was we got questioned by a couple of people whilst we were taking that photo, like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you had the Mamiya and you were able to be like, look, this is like a really old camera, and like it kind of diffused any like.
Well, that takes me back to when we actually went out, because it was the weirdest time to go out because there was not many people around. So a lot of the time we were kind of waiting for someone to walk past to take a shot that we kind of envisioned in our head.
Yeah,
I have never met more polite people in my life when we were on that photo walk. Everyone that we came across, or we were kind of camped out for, ready to take a photo, they either stopped and just politely waited, or they said sorry and then walked around us, and we were like, no, walk past. I don't want you to even notice that I'm here. So I kept
a couple of those shots in the video where you see people kind of going and walking away.
But normally you kind of get, if anything, you kind of get people reacting in a way like, what are you doing? Stop taking photos of me. But they were like, yeah, cool. Like you crack on. I was like, no, I'm waiting for you to walk past, mate. But, it worked out all right.
But that's cool. But yeah, what was the other one you were going to say about?
Yeah, so the 121s, I really like that one on the underpass, the portrait, and the spiral staircase. I thought that kind of came out how I expected it to came out.
Yeah,
And
really
then
like
the
it.
35mm one, I really liked um, the guy in like the bike shed with the
Yeah.
scooter van in the background.
Yeah, because you thought you'd missed that shot, I
I thought I
think.
missed that, yeah. And I haven't seen it in detail yet, but you said the photo of the there was like a family, there was like a mum, dad, and a kid walking past us, and the kid kind of turned around and waved. But
Yeah.
I think I got that, yeah.
Cool
Actually, yeah,
little shot because of the way that the shadows are coming in across. There's some like bollards, the
yeah,
way that he's kind of placed, and he's just sort of looking back slightly.
yeah. So I'm quite happy that that one came out. And then the last one that kind of stands out in terms of without thinking about them, like without having like gone through them in too much detail. I like the one of the arrow on the floor. It's like a
Yeah,
brick road with the arrow and then just the feet, and obviously, yeah,
yeah,
photography, arrows, yeah, that's what we're doing. But yeah, it was kind of a lined up shot that
yeah,
I took, and again, it kind of came out how I expected, but I didn't know how it would look on this film stock. So
yeah,
yeah, I was quite happy with the result on that one.
yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
So the ones I really like of yours that you haven't mentioned, the two blokes walking across the front of the parking garage. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really like that. And
Did you cop that one for me in the end?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
though I'll use the cropped version of it. I just think it's
yeah.
really nice. The leaves as well. There was one just of leaves
Oh, looking up in the tree,
hanging from
wasn't
the
it?
tree. When I scanned it in, I was like, oh, I don't know about this actually. But as I played around with the levels a little bit, it suddenly brought out like the depth of the photo and it looked a lot
Yeah.
less flat and you could see a bit more of the detail. So I think that was really nice.
I think that
Um,
that's where the film stock kind of helps it a little bit because you get a very unique look from it.
yeah,
So yeah, that was again. I think I took that photo knowing that I just wanted to have a photo like that throughout
yeah,
the series that I kind of took.
yeah,
Just again, just to see what the results would be like.
yeah.
I wouldn't typically take a photo like that, especially on a kind of street photography kind of mission, if you know what I mean. But it was so
Yeah, not
quiet.
on a 13 quid roll of film as well. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sort of thing
yeah,
you might take on a Foma pan, like 4 quid roll of black and white on a
yeah,
point and
yeah,
shoot or something. But
yeah,
no, it's nice. Like I really like it. There's one of yours where there's like two people walking in front of a or walking on the other side of a pole, like a lamppost or something, but you can only really see one of them. You can see the
yeah,
foot of the other person. I really like that one.
yeah.
Um, and there's a guy, he kind of ran past the camera as you were taking the photo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I hear
like
that was
that.
again someone just trying to be polite and move out the way quick. I was like, no, be
Yeah,
slow as you want.
yeah. There's a
Yeah,
couple of portraits you've taken of me there as well that are quite. Don't
yeah,
normally like looking at pictures of myself, but I like those. Um, yeah, they were your ones. I like the ones I took of the crane in the distance, and we kind of talk
yeah.
about them briefly on the
Uh,
video, but I did not somehow didn't nail the focus of those.
yeah, do you know
So
what? I don't think I nailed the focus when I was recording it using the GR either. I think I shot it a bit like a potato. But
yeah, there's a
I know,
few
yeah,
moments.
they were the ones that I was going to mention to you because you took a couple of shots there, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Um,
like the composition of them, but the focus is not right. But yeah, there's loads of shots I really liked, and yeah, it's just a nice I like a contrasty black and white film, and to
I like the
me,
self portrait you did on the 120 roll.
oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I really like that because you took it from the angle where you kind of cropped the camera out.
yeah. And I'll be honest, I didn't mean to do that.
Did you not?
Um,
I was going to ask you that. Was it deliberate or not? Because obviously it was it was like a mirror, wasn't it?
let's say I did then, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I really like that one because yeah, the kind of break in the window
yeah,
gives it that illusion that you're kind of stood there, which you can spend hours.
yeah,
People try for so long to get a result like that when really
yeah.
it was just a
From
white
where I
box.
was stood, because obviously there I was holding the camera at my waist. Um, from where I was stood, I could see the camera in the reflection. Um, And obviously, yeah, when it's come out, there's that strip going across the window, so you can't see the camera. So it is quite cool. Although I think, I think I'm like hunched over slightly, holding the camera, and also I think there's a slight optical illusion where because I've got the reflection from one mirror and from the other,
Yeah.
they're like angled slightly, so I look like I'm kind of like squished up a little bit. But
No, I
like,
thought you did. I like the first photo you took, which I credit to you for doing this because it was the first photo you'd ever taken on the camera, and it was of like the pathway next to where we were sitting,
yeah,
and there's one person walking towards us, then one person sat on a ledge. But the way you've angled it, you've got, I think, the ledge on the left-hand side of the screen that kind of cuts into the photo, which
yeah,
leads your eyes towards the pathway, and then you've got these two people, but one of them's out of focus, but you can clearly see you've got the subject of the photo that you're actually taking a photo of
yeah.
crystal up, and all those kind of different factors that are put in it. I don't know, it makes for a nice photo.
Yeah, I mean, if I took that again, I'd focus the man that in the foreground.
Yeah,
I'd hit the focus on him. If there was the woman behind him, if she wasn't in the shot, like I fucked that up. I meant to focus on him, but because he was moving, I took it a little bit too late.
yeah,
Or I thought I had the focus right,
yeah,
but because she's there in the background, the shot still works. But
yeah,
if she
yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
been there, it would have just been like, oh, it's just a out of
Out
focus
of focus man. But
photo.
yeah,
But
I
because
thought it kind of gave it that character because
mm,
he's not that far out of focus, but compared to the woman sitting on the ledge,
yeah,
she was crystal sharp. So yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed that. And again, with the film start giving it that grain and the blacks being very black and the whites being quite white, it produced a nice result, like visually contrasty. It came across nice, if you know what I mean, with everything else going on.
yeah,
And then
there's
I like the photo that you took on the 35mm camera of, was it the anti-COVID sticker or whatever it was?
yeah.
Yeah, anti-vax or whatever it was.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd take that to give take a sort of depth of field type shot. And
Yeah,
so it works in that sense. But yeah, there's a lot of those stupid stickers around.
yeah. It kind of reminded me of the photo that I took in our last video that we put out, which was on Sunday, the photo walk that we did.
Yeah.
And I came across a stick on a lamppost. I think it said like lick battery acid or something
Yeah.
random like that. And
Yeah.
it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like those kind of. I'm drawn to those kind of images
Yeah.
or those pictures.
So would you shoot that film again? Would you shoot it regularly?
I would 100% use it again. I wouldn't shoot it regularly because it's got. I think this is a pro, not a con. It's got a very unique look about it. The results are quite unique to it, I feel. So I feel like I would know when I'd want to shoot it. I'd definitely say to buy some and always have it in your fridge ready to go.
Yeah.
But whether it'd be something that it wouldn't be my go-to. It wouldn't be my go-to. But that's just again going on the kind of photos that I take.
Yeah.
But I can certainly appreciate how good it is when other people use it as well from the results that I've seen.
Yeah.
Out of 10, I don't know, what would you give it out of 10?
I'm not a fan of marks out of 10.
Out of 5?
No. Oh, right. Yeah. Marks out of 5. I love marks out of 5. I'll give it, I don't know. I'll say 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
terms of,
I'd probably agree with that.
I think.
What would you prefer to use that over 800T, over Cinestill 800T or 50? No,
No, I'd rather go out. I mean, I'd always rather go out and shoot in color. So
yeah.
that's just me. But I think it's not a cheap film. It's like 13 quid a roll or whatever,
Yeah.
on 35mm at least. I guess similar price on 120. And all of the other films are that, the 50D and the 800T. The results I've gotten from 50D on the one roll I've ever shot from it, they're lovely. They're so nice. When you've got a really sunny day, it looks amazing. And the 800T is obviously famous. Does what it does. It looks great, and I really want to go out and shoot some more of that at night. And again, maybe like shoot some on 120 as well.
Let us know what you think. If you think that's a good idea, drop a comment. Let us know that if you want to see that, and yeah, maybe we'll do that for.
What a good idea to go and shoot 800T at night, or for us to make a video, or both.
For us to make it and people watch it.
Yeah, I'd say definitely shoot 800T at night. Don't shoot it in the day like I did, because it's a waste of money and time and waste of film. It looks crap.
So yeah, what we're going to do from this video is print our favourite photo that we took. So I'll pick my favourite one that I took, whether it be 35 or 120. Luke will do the same, 35 or 120, and we will print them out and we will do a giveaway on Instagram for it. Not too sure how that'll work yet. We'll think about it, but yeah, we'll give away 2 prints.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing to do. You know, we're building this print-based website.
Yeah, we'll get them printed from the negatives as well, like a proper darkroom print. I can get them done. So it won't just be like a digital scan of a negative. It'll be a proper thing. Maybe let's get 2, because I'd like one, actually. As you're getting them done. You can have one. I'll get one.
Yeah, I'll have one of yours. You can have one of mine.
Yeah.
We'll give away 2 prints, one from me, one from Luke. So yeah, look out for that. If you're not already, follow us on Instagram, which I'm sure is how you're discovering about this podcast if you haven't already.
Anything else you want to finish off with?
No, it's a good film stock. Forgetting about the price, I enjoyed shooting it. I can definitely see myself using it again in the future, knowing what the result is somewhat going to be, if you know what I mean. It's quite forgiving in areas, which I think is a good thing. Again, if I was using a camera that a go-to camera that I am comfortable with, I would feel even more comfortable with what I'm going to shoot. But yeah, putting that kind of price point on it, it wouldn't be a go-to film for me. But I certainly enjoyed using it, and I'll certainly recommend it.
Yeah, me too. I'd definitely use it again. I'd quite like to shoot a few rolls of it just to see what different effects you can get, and see if you can, if it's supposed to happen, get that halation glow on some more images, and kind of be keeping that more in mind, and be a bit less rushed than we were kind of with it before. But yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, the video is going to come out on Sunday for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out. Tell us what you think about it. Let us know if you've shot the film yet, whether it be 35 or 120, or even tag us in your posts if you post them on Instagram or whatever. Again, we'll do like a little collection of people that send us the photos and put out a post or something like that. But yeah, stay tuned for Sunday. Like and subscribe. John Moore, please.
Nah.